Welcome, everybody. It is me. Thank me later. Welcome to another episode of UPX World Live. I nailed the transition. Boom. Did you see that? I was even there. I am muted. Crushing it. Starting out real strong. There we go. What we got in the house? We got Sheriff Shack. What up? Walk My Paws LLC. Welcome. Robzilla in the house. Howdy, howdy. Caesar. What up, brother? Good evening. And Galactus Buck. What up? All right. So today, first of all, Mondays are actually really a lot of work, getting back to like actual work and stuff. And today was no exception. So I had a bunch of things planned. However, since I still have a day job, sometimes I don't get to go to do everything that I want to do in a day. But we do have some great stuff for you anyway. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, in more detail, you guys will have to, I think we already talked about this, but we're going to talk about it, especially now with the announcement of communities, neighborhood scores, things like that inside of Upland. One of our biggest components of UPX World, obviously being working closely with the layer 1 of Upland, is going to be what I refer to as our NGS, our neighborhood guild system. I don't want to present and record. What happens if I just want to present there? Present. All right. How's everyone doing today? Everyone have a good weekend? Good. All right. So, NGS, aka the neighborhood guild system, node guild system, however you want to call it. What up, Cheesy Cheese? Good. I did not have nearly as many sandwiches as I would have wanted to this weekend, but that's okay. Sometimes you got to go on a sandwich diet because you got actual stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, season 4 of Demon Slayer now on Crunchyroll. Good to know. Thanks for watching. Too much work to do to eat any sandwich. Yeah. Preach, sister. Preach. Ain't nobody got time for eating sandwiches. We got work to do. So, I'm really excited. One of the biggest components of what we're building at UPX World is going to be relating to the neighborhoods. I think that this is a critical thing. I've been a huge proponent of community neighborhoods and nodes in general for a very long time. What up, SC Kicker in the house? And with the introduction of XNet, which is our node network, where we're bringing together independent nodes to form a kind of a larger collaboration, or node network as it is called. It's going to be backing one of the kind of the bigger systems that we're building for UPX World, and that's the NGS. The idea here is that imagine each neighborhood is essentially a guild. That's as easy as it comes, right? So when you look at a normal game and you join different guilds, usually it's like, oh, you're recruited, or maybe there's, different types of guilds. Is it a raiding guild? Is it a crafting guild, et cetera, et cetera? I see this being very similar because we're actually going to have different levels. Now, Upland is going to be doing their own neighborhood scores based on all the criteria. You can go read about it. It's really interesting. Great to see those leaderboards and to see a lot of the nodes inside of XNet ranking very favorably, which is fantastic to see. What up, JT, over on the YouTubes? Welcome, JT. I love the Twitch community. I love that you're all so friendly to each other. That makes me happy. Friendly people make me happy. Hey, Zola. I don't know. I kind of like Zola. Is that her like secret identity? Zola? Did you just reveal her secret identity? So I'm curious, like, first, from like when we talk about levels, so unlike some of the other places, like the way that Upland is doing it is again based on percentages built, your spark hours, some other criteria that go into your neighborhood score. This place is like Cheers, haven't you heard? I love it. You know what? I like that. Honestly, that's the vibe. That's the vibe we're going for. We're going for a Cheers vibe. I love it. So unlike the traditional um, point system that Upland's doing that'll allow the collection bonus and things, which is great. If you haven't looked at that, please go take a look. It's going to be critical moving forward. It's also going to play, I think, a large part in value of these neighborhoods overall. What we're doing in UpX World is there will be experience points gained by the neighborhoods. So it's not going to necessarily be based on your neighborhood built out. It's going to be based on your neighborhood competing. And this is a distinct difference because, especially for those of you who are in nodes right now and who, especially XNet nodes for sure, you'll be able to start leveling as soon as this feature comes out, and you're going to know about it, and that's going to be an advantage where there might be some other large neighborhoods that if they're not actively participating, they just aren't going to level. Now, my expectation would be over time, as UpX World grows, more and more nodes will join and participate. Now, big piece here, just because I don't want to confuse it. A neighborhood does not have to be in XNet to participate in the NGS. The NGS is open to all neighborhoods that are registered. We have to work this out, but who are registered on the Upland Wiki. So upland.wiki, if you don't know, is a free site that honestly I set up and I have been sorely neglecting. And I know that there's a few out there that use it, and I love you for it. And we're gonna put some more love in it. But know that the only requirement to participate in the NGS is that your neighborhood is registered on the wiki. Yes, exactly. So I couldn't agree more, Cheese, and especially with major neglect. Wow, thanks. Especially with outdoor decor, with ornaments, with the new seasons, with the new wearables that just came out today. Like, there's a ton of information that really needs, like, we're definitely at a point now. When the wiki started, it was kind of like forcing information, like, okay, we have some neighborhoods, we have some cities, here's some block explorers. But now at this point, like, oh, I didn't even get into legits and cars and all kinds of stuff, right? There's so much content that actually needs a proper wiki, right? When you think about even cars. Oh, really? Is that true? That's funny. I didn't remember that. Um, like all of the car stats, right? Like, I mean, I know that Upland has it buried in their articles and stuff, but like having all of that information handy. I don't know if we have like, if anybody knows the outdoor decor and then the number of hours it takes to make each, the spark hours, because that's ultimately going to impact the score. So, like, if we can data mine that out and figure out how many spark hours are in the actual items and categorizing that, like, I think all of that is going to be big help. If you are interested in really rolling up your sleeves, if you're a big wiki fan, if you want to help bring it up, I have probably um I don't know, let's say for the purposes of this, like 300,000 UPX that I'm willing to leverage to incentivize people to really make some big changes on the wiki. So if you are interested, you have wiki experience, or just want to dive deep and you want some UpX, let's be very clear. It's just going to be UpX for now. Um, then hit me up on DMs. Again, the reason that this is going to be important, the neighborhood guild system is going to require neighborhoods to be registered on the wiki, to have that basic information to participate, because that's also going to show their level. I would love to integrate it in with their neighborhood ranking from the Upland site. And we're going to see, let me see here. Oh, the custom node badges. So things like the custom node badges, which a lot of the neighborhoods that are in have already received their custom badges. We have an artist who is creating these badges, and it's going to be on this. It's based on ownership and building level. So as an individual, you will get a node ranking. Now, but your guild, your official guild, will be wherever your home address is. So just like most games, you can only ever be in one guild. You can only have a home address in one neighborhood. So that's how your guild is decided. Your guild is decided by wherever your home node is. So the other kind of interesting thing that happens here is, in most games, guilds, you have to recruit. You have to, it's usually selective. Rarely, now some games do offer like open, so, and in like a certain number of slots, like you can only have 50 members or something, and it's, come until it goes. However, with our system, it's every guild is technically public. There is no such thing as a private guild, because it's all, if somebody moves to that neighborhood and makes it their home address, guess what? They're in the guild. Now, that said, now that I say that, just talking through this out loud, which is why we do these, because then we can talk about it. We have to now make sure that there's no way for bad actors, because that's immediately my mind goes, people get kicked out of guilds for being trolls, for being bad representations, things like that. What do you think? Should a neighborhood be able to exile a, a member? I'm trying to think. Walk My Pulse says yes. So, like, because, and here's why. Because the reality is that as a neighborhood decapitation, that escalated quickly, Caesar. Because the neighborhoods will compete against each other. In theory, you could get somebody who then purposely tanked competitions. You'd have bad actors, a mole. Yeah, I mean, a mole would be one thing. I mean, there's not really, I mean, a mole, moles are difficult because there really isn't any quote unquote inside information. Um, hmm. This is interesting because the other thing is, since it's centrally controlled, like there will need to be a node leader. How about players with two accounts? I mean, two accounts is two accounts. I'm not. But you can't have a home address without KYC. So that's the other thing is like it is having a home address. It does require KYC. Um, so you really don't want your KYC'd account to get banned or blacklisted. Um, so we might have to do some sort of like community karma system that if somebody is being a troll, all of the neighborhoods will need a leader. And so that is going to be interesting if there's neighborhoods that are under contention for maybe who's leading it. At the end of the day, it's going to be at, well, full disclosure, it's UpX World's discretion. Um, so like, let's say for instance, somebody else started developing Hyde Park, LA, and they were like, "Yeah, no, this is our node now. We run whatever." Like the reality is, I mean, there is no true way to have node ownership in Upland. It is all just on paper, and it's really who record keeps it, which again is why the wiki is so important because that's going to be this is our turf, right? Because that's going to be kind of the source of truth, and then we're going to need to have like some sort of remediation process. Hopefully, we don't run into that issue anytime soon. I haven't heard of any. Well, that's not true. I do know of one major node that's been under leadership dispute for a while. Um, but they're not actively part of XNet, so I'm not too worried about it. Things like shared node banks, so this would need to be controlled by the node leader. We would likely allow the leader to have officers, so like guild ranks, much like you would see in World of Warcraft had some, but I would like a little bit more granular control over the ranks and what they can do. So, for instance, can they manage the node bank? And the node bank, I see this as so. Okay, so hear me out. I know this is going to sound crazy, but with the escrow process, in theory, right? So one of the big things is, say, ornament distribution during holiday events. That's a big thing. Like that's that, and like moving around assets between your node. So imagine you could put all of your objects into a what is that word I just spaced on? Not a reserve, a holding account. What is that? Oh my gosh. Brains. I hate my brain sometimes. Yeah, a bank container. Yeah, it's the what's the thing that escrow. Thank you. Escrow. Yeah, there it is. All right. Thank you, fam. Hey, Dak is in the house. Dak, I need your well I'll show you and then you'll get to it. So imagine the node banks as like a large escrow that would allow leaders to put items into escrow and then to deputize, for lack of a better word, officers to then be able to take items out of the escrow and so leveraging the escrow much like an asset bank. I think that this will help neighborhoods manage large events more easily. Um, I think we'll need to have some other components to that to help like track things down. I would love to be able to do like smart contracts. Like if we could figure out a way to make the smart contract smart enough to say like it's a proper loan. And so like it goes to somebody until X date and then comes back. Like, how do we help neighborhoods, because like the reality is like that's how these things should work. Like I have way more ornaments than I do properties anywhere, like because I love ornaments. And the reality is like I want to help out people, so like I want to go to a guild bank and deposit a bunch of things temporarily, and then allow members from that the leadership says, okay, hey, we're going to say you guys can take items out, they take it out, but remove the risk, right? Like that's the biggest thing of all of this. Well, actually it's not even, I don't even think the risk is as bad, because for the most part we're working with people that we trust. Honestly, the biggest thing is keeping track of it and then getting it back. Like it's just such a pain. So having resources available to guilds to help manage that, I think is going to be huge. Plus, um, some perks. So one of the things, and I'm really excited, I've been doodling a bunch of things on our originator, which is our item creation. So you're going to be able to select a form factor like a t-shirt, but then you're going to be able to select like a base color or pattern. And I was thinking about it and I go, this is one of the things I want guilds to be able to unlock. So, and definitely for sure, if you're in XNet, you're going to get your guild colors as like bonus perks for your people. So, you know, the out of the box might come black, white, red, blue, yellow, orange, green, purple, whatever that is. But then as a guild, you might be like, well, we want this shade of blue. We want this shade. We want our specific colors that then are usable as a base color for items exclusively for guild members. So now we're incentivizing more and more of, hey, I want to be in this guild because they have cool perks. I like their colors. I like the badge that I get. Let me jump to that. Uh, hey, look at this. We had this well before. Anyway, node levels. So this is, yeah, node badges. Okay, so here's an example I gave to my developer. This is what they came up with. Here's the top level ranking. Here's some of the other ones. And now they're still tweaking a little bit. Here's Lake Balboa. So again, so the teeth, so these are things that you'll be able to unlock, and we're working to integrate them in with Discord. So if you have properties in Lake Balboa, you will be able to unlock a Lake Balboa badge, and the teeth will turn gold based on your number of properties that you own and the number of buildings that you own. So those are the two criteria for getting what we call decorations. And then for their home address, if your home address is Lake Balboa, it gets this golden crown. So they went with a slightly different design than kind of our base model. And I apologize, the coloring on some of these on this isn't great. It doesn't really pop the way it should. However, here is shout out to Sheriff Shack and the Creedmoor family. So here's the badge designed for Creedmoor. And so you can see here the base badge is their ghost. And then they have bats that are added for the number of properties that you own. So levels 1 through 5. And then they turn gold for your property, your buildings. So if you have a bunch of buildings with a bunch of properties, then you're going to probably be closer to one of these ones with, you know, more gold bats. if you own, like, let's say that you own a bunch of properties, but you don't own any buildings for whatever reason, you'll get something like this, where this is a level 5 property owner, but they don't really have any buildings. So again, everything we're doing here is to incentivize people to action what benefits the guild or the node the most, right? And so we've seen now, and this is critical with the way that the neighborhood rankings are going, which, if you know, like, we did this, we talked about the neighborhood rankings well before it came out, and the reality is, like, I think we hit it pretty dead on. And then, and here, if your home is Creedmoor, then you get the Golden Ghost. So the idea here is that it's very obvious where your home address is, or whose home address is in a particular neighborhood. SC Kicker says, can people earn multiple badges? Great question. 100% yes. So while you can only be in one guild, which means you can only have one golden badge, and when you go to, like, see your guild, it'll showcase the badge of the neighborhood that you have your home address on. However, you can absolutely have a golden Creedmoor badge and, let's say, a non-golden Portage Park badge. Shout out to Portage Park. So here's their badge, where your number of properties, you get, you earn spades, and then your number of buildings, you get the golden spades, which is cool. And then you can see here, if you have a resident, if your home address is in Portage Park, you get the Golden Gates. So you can absolutely earn badges from every single neighborhood, and you can earn up to, I mean, essentially, this is the highest badge right here. This is, so, I mean, technically this one is if you get the home address, but you could theoretically earn a level 5 badge in every neighborhood. I mean, it would be insane because you'd have to earn a tremendous amount of properties everywhere. But here's our Portage Park badges. Next, Alamo Square, close to my heart as it is. An homage to the Painted Ladies, and one of the early mock-ups relating to Upland, relating to Alamo Square was the heart of San Francisco. So little, and plus I'm a big fan of hearts. So here we have the heart. So if you own properties inside of Alamo Square, these would be your badges, which again, I think is super fun. Next up, we have, oh my gosh, Chocolate City. Why did I just space on Chocolate City? Oh my gosh. Fam, I'm failing today. Hold on, give me a, somebody tell me where why did I just, oh yeah, I meant to put the actual labels, so I didn't do that, but whatever. Yeah, Chicago. Is it, I'm so sorry, guys. Galewood, yes. Why am I spacing? Chocolate City. Anyway, it's Chocolate City. Cocoa Bean, Chicago. I don't think it's Cocoa Bean, is it? I think it is. I mean, it's. Oh, okay. Chocolate City. Yeah, it's Chocolate City. I don't know why I'm spacing on their details. Anyway, they have a chocolate Cadillac with the chocolate kisses. I love this a lot. I think it's super fun. And then obviously the gold wrapper for your building ownership. I don't know if we have any more. I think that was the last one. So I'm curious, what do you guys think of these badges? Are you excited for these badges? UCC DAC, we need Citadel. What do you want your image to be? What do you want your decoration to be? So that way we can get that made. Also, I'm trying to think of who else. Um, there's a couple other communities that still need it. If you run a node and you are interested, we are accepting applications to XNet. There is currently a backlog. Dogpatch is not in XNet, and full disclosure, Dogpatch is a castle with star. You don't want stars because stars is going to be our generic one. But let's figure something else out for you, because stars is going to be part of our generic set, and I'll explain that in a second. So Doc asked about Dogpatch. Dogpatch is a very prevalent node. It's very active in the sense that like tons of meta ventures there. It's very business centric. However, there's a lot of dispute on leadership and like where it's headed. So it's not currently in XNet. I don't know. That's all I'll say on Dogpatch. That's one of those ones that's like up there. We should probably end that dispute. Yeah, I know. I just don't know who to give it to. Like, if somebody wants to own Dogpatch, like, let me know. We'll figure it out. But I mean, like, I have my meta venture is there. My outdoor decor is there. Two Stupids outdoor decor is there. But yeah, I mean, it's a great neighborhood. I just no one's really leading it in my mind. Battle for it. I don't think it like I don't know that there needs to be a battle. Like, come talk to me if you really are passionate about it and you want to lead Dogpatch from this perspective. I guess we can talk through it, what that might look like. So what I was saying is that there's also going to be generic badges. So I vote Shaq, and Shaq is already leading Creedmoor. So the generic badges, all of the neighborhoods that register on the wiki, we will have some basic icons and then stars. So you'll be able to select some essentially like just think clip art. We're going to have probably, I don't know, maybe 200 to 500 clip art style, very simple images. That would include things like letters and some basic shapes that you'll be able to select and then pick a color for it for the base color. And then the decoration is going to be stars. So it'll be generic stars, like black and then gold. So very simplistic, but that means that every neighborhood that is registered on the wiki will get a corresponding badge set. So that way, even if they don't have a custom, now all of the XNet nodes have the option of getting custom badge sets. So one of the many perks, and there's going to be a lot of perks of being an XNet member, including potentially, and I don't know, we have to discuss as a community how we feel about it. But for me, I actually would likely give XNet members like bonus experience. So they would get like a 10% bonus on their experience gain for being an XNet member. I don't want it to be completely like off tilt though. Like, I don't want the XNet members to have a crazy advantage by any means, because then that's just not fun. But I think like a 10% bonus or something small would be, optional. And then maybe like, I don't know, because here's the thing is I don't want to, it's not going to be about greed here, but then, I mean, there could be like essentially like a premium guild subscription. So like you could, maybe that's what I'll do is I'll make like a guild, the guild leader can subscribe for like a premium guild membership, and essentially all of the XNet nodes just get it for free. So that way, if you don't want to join XNet or your neighborhood just isn't big enough yet to get into XNet, but you want the premium benefits, you could pay for your neighborhood to get some of the premium perks like increased EXP rate or something. Have to work that out. But I'm curious what you all think. Do you think option A, nothing special, no one gets anything special? Option B, that XNet members only get something special? Or option C, that there's a premium guild option that XNet members get for free, but other neighborhoods can pay if they want to get those perks. So those are kind of three options. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or shoot me a DM on it. Yeah, I mean, dog patch, honestly, like I know exactly what I would do for dog patch too. It would be dog and it would be bones. Like it would be a really cool dog and then there would be bones or fire hydrants, one or the other. I'd probably do bones. No, I would do fire hydrants because we already have bones. XNet premium option. I kind of like that too, Shaq. I think that's the most fair. And here's the thing is, it's not going to be something I don't want, and here's, I'm going to task the community with this as well. If at any point dogs and fire hydrants, yeah, I kind of like that, right? I might just have that made up just in case, because honestly, dog patch is a great like San Francisco neighborhood. It's a big one. At any point that XNet, any point that UpX World feels like it's getting like a cash grab or anything like that, I want you guys to speak up. And communicate that with me. So if we're implementing features, I don't ever want there to be a pay gate that a neighborhood or an individual cannot progress without significant investment of money. Like that isn't the goal of what we're trying to build as a game for UpX World. I want it to be something that people can naturally progress and grind out as they want, that premium features add, for the most part, either cosmetic benefits or slight acceleration in ability to kind of progress. But by no means do I want it to feel like a pay to win platform, because I don't like pay. I say I don't like pay to win, and I don't because it costs me a lot of money. That's why I don't like them. Because I'm the pay to win player. I'm the target demographic historically for a pay to win game. Because after I'm done with work and after I'm done with my side activities, I just want to go play a game, but I don't like being bad at games. So I'm happy to just like pay extra to just get shit done. Like, yep, pay. Here's some more gems. Here's some more gems. That's historically how I've played. And it makes it fun for me because then I can just buy myself to be able to compete with the best people. However, it's not ever fair because I'm only just competing against other people who have paid a lot of money. Rarely do you actually compete against people that are good or have grinded it out, because they're just such different tiers of gameplay. So anyway, that being said, my goal is not to have UpX World be one of those games, or really any of the experiences by extension to feel that way. Dog, yes, this is facts, Shacklin. It's exactly the dilemma right now. So there's that. What was it? Oh man, I feel like there's some other stuff I wanted to review with you guys. Neighborhood guild system. Oh, levels. So I think I was trying to figure out like how many levels should the guilds have. 10 feels like it's too many. 100 feels like, or 10 feels like it's not enough. 100 feels like it's way too many, at least to start with. Because the idea would be much like other games, like as we have expansions or grow. Caesar. Oh, Caesar. Jeez. You got me. See, you got me. I cannot not read comments. And so that was on point. Like you just got me. Well done. Well done. Um, so I was honestly thinking for it to start, maybe like 20 levels. With the idea being that it would be really hard to get to level 20. Um, I don't want guilds to get to max level quickly. I want it to be a grind, and I want it to feel like an accomplishment. So that's a big thing. And like I said, it's going to be based on activity. So if it is like neighborhood versus neighborhood things, for instance, and I need to put this together for our hackathon submission. Uh, One of the things we're working on for the hackathon is I wanted to call it tag up land, or graffiti battle or color wars. I don't graffiti. Anyway, the idea being that it's player versus player, and you go into a neighborhood. It selects. So let's say it's me with my home of Alamo Square versus NFT architect who has a home in Lake Balboa. So you can only battle somebody from a different node than you. You can't battle somebody in your own node. Well, you can, it just won't count for points. You battle them, and the idea is that you tag buildings. So, and here's what I really liked is so the graffiti tag, spoiler, can you guys guess what graffiti tag is going to be? If you said, oh my gosh, if you said neighborhood badges, you're correct. So we already have the tag. So when you tag buildings, you will use your neighborhood badge. So when it starts, it'll select randomly one of the two neighborhoods. So obviously, if your neighborhood is selected, and these are things we'll monitor of like how fair it is, because home field advantage is actually going to be a thing. Because like I know Alamo Square very well. And why that's important is when you're tagging buildings, you can tag buildings with essentially however many residents there are. So if it is an apartment complex, you can put up to 8 of your tags on there. And we got some rules that like your tags can't overlap. They must be independent, and then somebody else can put their tag on it. So if I go to an apartment building and I put 5 tags up on it, I have 5 points on that. That building is worth up to 8. But then let's say that NFT architect comes behind me and tags it with 3. Well, now it's 2 points for me because they just cancel each other out. So you two, essentially, it'll be head to head. You go around putting stickers on the buildings to rack up points, and you can only rack up as many points on a. So like if it's a small townhouse and you put 5 stickers on it, that's cool because maybe you've put so many stickers on it that nobody else can put a sticker on it. So you're like, this is mine, but you're only going to get 1 point for that, right? Where if an apartment building, which is much bigger, so it's going to fit a lot more stickers, and you might have to fly to get to the upper stuff. I'm just saying. He got 5 on it. sang to the tune of that song. He got 5. Oh, what is? I don't know. I don't know that song. He got 5 on it. Oh, you're gonna drive me. You're gonna drive me nuts on that. Cheese, you. Um. Anyway, um. I got 5 on it. It's that '90s sandwich song. Alexa, play I Got 5 on it.
Here's I Got 5 on It by Loonies featuring Michael Marshall on Amazon Music.
Golden age of hip hop. Oh, it's explicit. Oh. Oh, yeah. No, I do know. I do know this one. Alexa, pause. Yeah. No, that's a good song. You do know Mamba Number 5. I do know Mamba Number 5. Now, I do know that song. I did not realize that that's called I Got 5 on it. That's cool. But I do know Mamba Number 5. Anyway, so that is the graffiti battle. And the idea there would be like, let's say that you each put up 1,000 UPX, right? And then the winner would get, say, 1,800 UPX, whatever that is. But the cool thing is then the winner might get 5 experience points for their neighborhood. But even the loser might get like 1 or 2 experience points. So the idea is that even if you lose, the fact that you participated, you can earn points for your neighborhood. Now, what I will say is that we'll likely cap the number of points earned per activity per day per guild. So that way somebody can't just sit there and grind out to level 20 in a day by competing in these things. So maybe you can earn 100 points, 100 experience per day in the graffiti battle, right? And so then you'll be able to track it as a guild to say, hey, we need 30 more points in graffiti battle. Like, can we get some people in queue up to grind out these experience? Which again is going to be an important piece of, you're not just going to have somebody who then can come in later in a brand new neighborhood and get to top, right? Like, they're going to have to grind it out. And so guilds and neighborhoods that are in early, that have this advantage, that know what's going on, that are tied into UPX World, are going to have a massive advantage because they're going to be in it from the start. They're going to be able to coordinate their members, get them in and playing sooner, and earn. I'm sure that we're going to have some extra incentives, especially early on, to help get you that extra boost as well for being on day one, alpha testers, things like that. I don't know, special badges. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that the neighborhood guild system aligns to kind of how communities are being built and formed in Upland? Do you feel like it is too restrictive to only allow your guild to be the neighborhood that you have your home in? I don't know. Maybe, you know what? And here's the thing. This is the great thing about, we can make this however you want. I just realized, okay, so hold on. Let me present share screen. I'm just glad you're catching up with nodes and now you know the word node means. Much love, Cheese. Much love. That was funny. So maybe it's a situation where if you achieve at least like this level here, which would be a level 3, this would be level 3 property ownership, level 3 building ownership, right? So a minimum of this. Like you could have this, which is level 3 building ownership, level 4 property. So you have more properties, but they're not all built out yet. So I think like if you get to like this level, then maybe you unlock some of the guild perks. So right, like we mentioned, guilds will have like maybe custom colors that they have for their items. They might have some other benefits as they level up. And so maybe if you reach a certain level of ownership in that, then maybe you get perks from them. Because like obviously like if you're this person here, like if you're level 5 property ownership, level 5 building ownership and it's not your home address, that's fine. But like you're a big part of this community. So it feels like you should definitely be getting some perks at that point. How many properties do you have to own in various ownership levels? That's a fantastic question, Shaq. We haven't sussed out the exact numbers yet, but it's going to be specific per neighborhood. And so likely it'll be driven by I need to get the XNet, the Council of Nodes, node council. And anyway, Council of Nodes would essentially so based on because like Alamo Square and Portage Park owning 50 properties in one versus the other is a very different story, right? 50 properties in Alamo Square, you're definitely 5. You're top. 50 in Portage Park might only be two spades. Might only be 2 spades. Because of the size. So I think it is going to be based on the size of the neighborhood. And then definitely for XNet specifically, these will be probably custom for each of the XNet members. Like they'll be able to tweak them to be exactly what they want. And then we will likely do generic brackets for everybody else. So it'll be like if you have 500 or less properties in a neighborhood, this is your score, or like this is your ranks. If you have 501 to 1,000, it's this. 1,001 to, I'd have to go and look at the neighborhood breakdown and sizing to see what makes the most sense. But there will be generic breakdowns. And spoiler, all of that will be then available on the wiki. So people will know exactly where they stand and how many more properties they need. This is where things get so much fun to me, is that you start like combining this then with the power of the Upland data mines, right? So now users will not only get to see this information and be able to learn about all of these amazing nodes and communities on something like the wiki, they'll be able to earn badges and then see very easily like, hey, I want to get another bat on my Creedmoor. I want to get another spade on my Portage Park. How close am I to the next level? So they'll be able to see their neighborhood dashboard and see how close in property ownership and building ownership they are to achieving that next badge icon. Gamification is going to be critical for mass market and active growth, because right now, I'll be honest, people are lost. New players are absolutely lost. They don't know where to buy. They don't know where to build. They don't understand. Unless they get connected with one of these communities, which I hope most of them do, it's very difficult for people to know, well, what's going to benefit the most. And by creating resources like the wiki, like this guild system, it's going to give players something to anchor on, right? I'm lost. Where am I? Exactly. It's going to give players something to anchor on. It's going to give them something to grow with. So all of these neighborhoods that are participating, that have these badges, that have this gamification, I expect that they will see dramatic increases in secondary sales if it's a neighborhood like I think Sunland sold out, Portage Park is sold out. If it's one of those bigger neighborhoods, I expect there to be a lot more secondary sales, an increase, which, spoiler, is going to help your Upland neighborhood rating and also help you try to get those collections. So, this is why, to me, projects and layer two creations like the wiki, like the guild system, that can drive the actions that are needed are going to be incredibly important tools to anyone who is trying to build an active node in Upland. Because without it, you're going to fall behind. Like there's going to obviously be massive guilds that are investing heavily a lot on themselves to build, and there's other obviously node networks. I would be remiss if I didn't tip my hat to the original node network, UDU, and the Genesis node, there you go, of Midtown Terrace, that they are putting a lot of their own resources, or behemoths like Century City and Bronxdale, where they might not ever come into XNet, they might not necessarily care to participate in this stuff, and they're still going to do fantastic. Like, let's be honest, because they have their own piece. But for those who don't have those resources, for those who are looking for better like leveraging of mass market appeal, then I think we're going to serve a great purpose. I think we really fit that niche of being able to drive the actions that are going to benefit those neighborhoods. Love for the cheese. I love the cheese. That's facts. Oh. Hey, more cheese. What's the do you know what the best cheese ever? Do you know what the top cheese is? This is a joke. I just made it up. I literally just made this up, and it's freaking hilarious. No, it's not my top cheese. It's what's the top cheese, and there's a reason. It's also one of my favorite cheeses by coincidence. Ready? The greatest cheese of all time? Obviously, goat cheese. Greatest of all time. Goat cheese. It's the goat of cheeses. That was Gouda. Yeah. You don't dare say what Too Stupid said. And oh no, I don't know. I don't know what he said. He says all kinds of stupid shit. Yeah, I just made that up. I have to figure out like what's the. I mean, honestly, I feel like I could even just say, what's the greatest cheese of all time? Greatest cheese of all time. And I'd be like, what? I'd be like, goat cheese, obviously, greatest of all time. Also, I love goat cheese. I'm going to sign off now because it's 6:00, but I'm going to give you a recipe. So I take, it's broccoli and spinach with a little bit of goat cheese. And I use this sauce. It's called sushi sauce. It's like it's almost like a thick teriyaki sauce. It's really good. and you steam the broccoli, you put it in a pan, saute it with the spinach, a little bit of goat cheese, and some of this sushi sauce. Delicious, creamy, super healthy, packed of vitamins. Really good. It's my go-to. Um, Goat cheese with red grape. Ooh, dang, you fancy. Goat cheese with red grapes and tomato basil crackers. Mm-mm-mm. Does sound good. I'm hungry now. Aren't we? Oh, well, good thing it's the top of the hour. Now, I will say tomorrow is the 11th. That means one thing. Epic 5 is closing tomorrow. Epic 6 is then being stood up. I think we're going to launch Epic 6 on Wednesday's show. So definitely catch that. I'm going to try and live stream tomorrow. I have it blocked out, but like I've mentioned a couple times, it's in the middle of the workday for me. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess actually, I still have my day job because it pays the bills. So I might have meetings. I'm going to try and get Dr. Nobi to either cover it or we'll work it out somehow. I might just leave it open. If you want to co-stream with me, or if you're planning on bidding or participating and you want to come on and participate, that would be cool too. But that is happening tomorrow live. So be sure to tune in for that. And then Wednesday, I think is when we're going to do the Epic 6 reveal, if we don't do it tomorrow. So definitely tune in for that. And if not, we'll definitely be back Wednesday with another stream. All right. Well, that is going to do it for me today. I do appreciate everybody who tuned in. And make sure that you join the Discord. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, do all the cool social media things. Tell your friends about us. Please, we could use the extra views. And until we see you next time, enjoy your day, and we'll see you on the ship. Cheers. Ooh, get that music. Yeah. And transport.